Press space to start. Press escape to quit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of The Division 2. As we dive into the thrilling new Escalation Apparel Event this week, I want to address a bold announcement made by the developers regarding the notorious Descent experience glitch that has been causing a stir for the past 2 weeks.
Another agent has joined your group.
Nani?
An agent is no longer in your group.
In a public tweet that caught everyone's attention, which reads, "Agents, we want to take a moment to address an important matter concerning the Descent game mode. We are aware that certain players have been exploiting a bug in the game that allowed players to join another players already in Descent through the Ubisoft Connect interface and gain unfair amounts of experience and SHD levels. We take these issues very seriously and are committed to maintaining a fair and enjoyable gaming environment for all players. We have thoroughly investigated the situation and identified individuals who have systematically used the exploits. As a result, we'll be imposing appropriate sanctions on the players involved in accordance with our policies. First-time offenders who have exploited this feature will receive a 2-week suspension starting immediately and will be unable to play Tom Clancy Division during this time. Furthermore, sanctioned players' accounts will be flagged, and any further offense will result in an increased suspension duration. Multiple offense will result in a permanent suspension. We will also be taking action to roll back illegitimate players' progression. Sanctioned players' accounts will be rolled back, causing all account progress through the exploit to be reset. We believe it is crucial to ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed and compete on a level playing field." If you know this one, an interesting Chinese idiom, settling accounts after autumn, implying that they were patiently gathering evidence and waiting for the right moment to take action. If my memory serves me right, this is the fourth ban related to a major glitch in this game, and the second time they rolled back progress since the turret DPS glitch back in March 2020. The community has been split on this issue. Half of the players are upset, arguing that the developers shouldn't punish players for exploiting bad code. They believe it's the developers' responsibility to fix these bugs promptly instead of resorting to bans. However, I respectfully disagree. Let's draw a parallel from real life. If someone abuses a hospitality service at a restaurant, getting free food and drinks, eventually they'll be shown the door and possibly blacklisted. Similarly, if someone exploits a glitch in a casino slot machine, they'll be escorted out, fined, or even jailed. Just because the fault lies with somebody else doesn't justify systematically abusing that fault for personal gain. Other game companies have handled similar situations differently. Take Bungie and Destiny, for example. Whenever players found and abused a bug in the game, Bungie simply laughed it off and told their player base to, quote, have fun with it until it's fixed. And they fixed it promptly. The players had a goofy time with the exploit, and the developers turned a buggy situation into a temporary trampoline. Everyone had fun, and the game moved on. On the other hand, the Division team, if my memory serves me right, took a whole month trying different fixes for the infinite damage turret glitch, but none of them worked. Eventually, the developers became desperate and angry, so they brought out the bang hammer and rolled back players' progress by 2 weeks. That turret glitch can still be done today, but the developers implemented an instant crash feature if you attempt the usual steps while interacting with a turret. A sort of mini fix, if you will. Now, getting back to the Descent experience glitch, I've heard that it's not entirely fixed yet. In a previous video, I suggested that they should just disable group options while any player is inside Descent to prevent others from joining in. However, major bugs aren't easily fixable overnight, so the developers did what they do best. They added an instant crash for anyone repeatedly trying to join an ongoing Descent session, similar to the current glitch. This should put a stop to most of the glitchers. The other half of the community is relieved that this ban has finally happened, and many were actually anticipating it. But it's not just a ban, it comes with a 14-day rollback, meaning players are sent back to the state they were in before the Descent update even went live. Ouch. Screenshots of suspension emails from Discord have been circulating, confirming that many players certainly got caught in the ban wave. Timing-wise, the developers couldn't have picked a better moment to drop the ban hammer. Just as the apparel event went live, those who were punished would miss out on all the new cool fashion items. While it may seem harmless for players to gain tens of thousands of SHD levels per day, the real issue is that it happened during 2 global events. This means they also gained thousands of global event stars, which translates to hundreds, if not thousands, of exotic components. Ultimately, this led to expertise level 23 on every piece of weapon and gear, completely throwing off the game's balance. Let's not forget that after 1000 SHD level, player gained 3 HP per level. So those achieving over a million SHD would end up with 2 to 3 million health points. That is insane, especially in PvP zones like the Dark Zone. Even in PvE, these players will be much tankier than usual. There have been reports of false bans as well, with players who simply wanted to rejoin their friends in Descent after crashing also receiving punishments. Given the developer's track record, it is not surprising that false negatives can happen. If you believe you've been falsely banned, you may need to appeal to Ubisoft support. Judging by the amount of chatter, it's safe to say that a significant number of players were affected. The exact number remains a mystery, but if Steam charts are any indication, you might experience some major slowdowns in matchmaking for the first 2 weeks. I'd also like to point out that the developers had previously made it very clear, both on Twitter and Discord, that they were constantly watching and that, quote, players know what they're doing. Going even further back, their Year 5 special report video had a whole section dedicated to this behavior, which I discussed in detail in my summary video. Here's a peek of what they said. They are adamant on punishing cheaters and exploiters, and the ban wave have already happened, and they said that, and I quote, and it will continue to happen. No one will be spared, so behave.
The exploiters, we have to tell them that what they're doing is wrong. We have already started ban waves. So yes, that is correct. It's happening, and it will continue to happen. So
No one will be spared, so behave.
no, we just want to make a fair and fun playground for you, for all of you guys that play the game legit. And there's nothing more frustrating than to meet these people that just ruin your experience. So it's for all of you good guys out there. So hopefully that can bring a little smile to your day.
All in all, this ban and rollback were inevitable, and the developers were definitely biding their time. When we thought there would be no consequences for 2 weeks, they proved us wrong. They made it clear that they are determined to punish exploiters. I hope none of you participated in this unfair SHD level boost. Thank you so much for tuning in, and that would be all from me today. As always, see you in the next episode, and happy hunting!